Hello, top 11 managers on the world. Welcome back to my channel, Mamun Prefer Gaming. Mamun Prefer Gaming is the only channel that provides valid top 11 content daily basis speaking in English. So please subscribe my channel so that I can make more videos for you. In this video, you are gonna watch 5 mistakes and solution of top 11 2024. Number 1. Starting match with less than 10 training bonus. Yes, many of you, I know you don't really like to train to 10 or 12% bonus, but I believe that if you keep your team below 10 bonus, and then when you play against a good team, you can struggle. It is simple that you are not training your team to the max, but your opponent, if your opponent train to the max, I mean that means they train better than you, they train more than you. In that sort of situation, they have advantage. So many of you are saying that you don't need to train 10 to 12%. So sometime giving players a good health is better. Yes, you will give better condition, but not without training. You can train them and then use rest. But if you follow my previous videos, I have old videos regarding training. How can you train to the max training, like 12 training or 10% training. Number 2. Some managers never change tactics. They set a default tactic and they use these for a whole match, and even they use the same tactics for a tournament. So this is not the way you should use tactics are changeable. Whenever you need in a match situation, you need to apply tactics. For an example, in this match I am 1-0 down already, you see, and in that situation if I play more attacking, I felt with this opponent I may receive more goals. So in that sort of situation I played it safe because I have a big defensive formation, 5 defender technically, 4 defender, 1 DMC. So in that case, a bit defensive formation. So it is already a bit defensive formation, and if I go for a bit tactically a bit defensive or less aggressive, then they will find it hard to score. So as I was telling it, and it is already 1-1, and now it's time to go ahead. So in this sort of situation you need to understand, and once you get ahead, once you equalize, and after that when you score another goal and you go ahead, in that sort of situation you may need to change tactic. In this sort of situation, you may need to play more defensive so that you can hold the lead, and you need to kill the time. So anything can happen depending on the match situation. You need to change tactic. Sometimes you are 1-0 down or 2-1 down, and in that sort of situation you need to come back in the game. So in that situation you need to use a different tactic. For an example, you need to go for heart attack so that you can actually force your opponent to get a goal. And various sort of situation you will face in match, and depending on the match situation you need to change your tactic. So do not go for one single tactic. You need to change tactic, and always understand the match. Understanding the match, you can change your tactic and you can get the benefit of it. Number 3. Number 3 mistake is sometime you just focus on 11 players and you may not have a proper substitute player. So in that sort of situation you may fall in trouble. Like me, I don't have enough player in this season. I sold all the players last season, and now I don't have any players in substitution. Normally I wait for events, and in those sort of events I get free players, and those free players are are part of my substitution bench, and from those events I sometimes get very good players as well, but not good as as my top 11. So my 11 players are the best player, and those players I get from event are not really that much great, but still great for a refreshment. So if my players are tired, if they are not performing well in that sort of situation, those players are pretty good. So I do use them and I substitute them when it's 50 minutes, 60 minutes, or if I have red card, if I have injury, then I forced to change my players. Number 4. So as you can see, this match, I'm showing you one single match, and throughout the match, I'm showing you all your mistakes. So in this match, I made some mistakes, and what are those mistakes? I talked about already some, but one more mistake is I used low condition player. So all my players were below 80%, 75 to 80%, not really great, but they are okay. They are not like tired, but still they are not perfect. They could be tired because I used conditional bonus. The bonus section, I used condition just to keep them healthy. If I would not use condition, they would not be good as now. So they could be more and more tired. That could really result your game. So the thing is, now you see 2-1. I'm already ahead now. The players are okay now, but the problem is you cannot use attacking bonus. You need sometime attacking bonus to score more goals, but you cannot. This opponent is not a big opponent, but is still a good manager and can beat me because I made some mistakes. So now you see the low condition was solved by my bonus. I took bonus, but what if I use more low condition player? It could be disaster. So you need to understand that you need good condition player, and if you have a good condition player, they will be healthy to play in every minute, and you can also use other bonus like attacking bonus, position bonus. You don't need to use condition bonus in that time. So as you can see, I was 1-0 down at the beginning of the stage, and I started the match with many mistakes. But as soon as the match started, those mistakes were actually solved, gradually. Despite making many mistakes, I was able to solve the problems that I had at the early stage of the game. The reason is the opponent is not huge. The opponent is smaller than me. But if you have a very big opponent to play against, then you are in trouble. Number 5. So at the end, I really want to say that never underestimate your opponent. I underestimate my opponent. In that situation, I really underestimated this opponent. He was 101%. I didn't really come in the match early. After 5 minutes, I just came. So 5 minutes, I was late, 5 minutes late. I mean the match-wise time. So I was in match situation, 5 minutes late already, and then I didn't train my players before this match, and also I didn't use rest, I didn't use videos to solve the condition issue. The condition was below 80%, and it wasn't really great, and the opponent is quite good. He is very active. He came into the match and he was very active, proactive about changing players, about changing tactic. So he really trained hard. He came up with the full preparation, but I wasn't really prepared. I didn't do any homework before the match. So, I actually underestimate the opponent. So in this sort of situation, you may fall in trap like this. You need to study your opponent first of all. So when you study your opponent, you will be able to play well. And sometime your opponent may disguise themselves into a smaller percentage. But in reality, they can have very big players in 11. and they put some smaller player, 1%, 2% player, to disguise themselves, to make their self smaller percentage in overall, to show you, to perplex you, to make you surprised.